The crisis, the black moment, the low point, the dark night of the soul. Hi guys, I'm oddfud. This month I've been going through all of my steps to make a really strong outline in order to write a novel pretty fast. I write realistic fiction in the young adult age range, and it's been working out really well doing it this way. So I thought I would share what I've learned and how I do it. My outlines take up almost an entire one subject notebook, but it makes writing a lot easier once I get this done. So it is some work, but it makes writing a lot easier and a lot better. I don't think my stories that I wrote before I started these techniques were any good at all. So I'm glad that I started doing it this way. Today we're talking about the crisis, or the black moment, or the dark night of the soul. There's lots of different names for it, but basically it's the low point. Or like when something they expect to go good goes really poorly, and then they start to reflect on everything else that's happened in the story. They're like, I'm an imposter, none of this is supposed to happen this way. Or like when the main character's been lying about something and then the love interest finds out and things go bad, right? So that is the dark night of the soul. It is often the main character and the main character alone. After the last bad guy closes in, the main character doesn't have any friends or anyone to turn to, and they have to look within. Often this can really shed light on the flaw, and then the person has to look in a mirror and see their flaw and face it head on, and that is what propels them into the next part of the book. Figure out that they have been making some mistakes. You want to let your main character wallow. Let them really admonish themselves and let them really see that they haven't really been being their authentic self. The flaw feels really augmented. Basically, they feel really bad about themselves. They feel pretty crappy in this part. And they often feel alone. But being alone can often spur what they need to do in order to continue going forward. If you think of the story as one single sine curve, you start at 0, you get to the peak, you go down, you pass 0, and you go down to the bottom, and then you end up back at 0. This is the bottom of that sine curve. So the symmetry is that the false high that we just went through, the achievement of the setup 1, this often is going to be opposite of that. You realize that getting the setup 1 is the only reason that you're in this dark place. Later on, at the end of the book, when you're a changed person, that can't have happened unless you got to this dark place. This is often spurred on by a fight. If the main character finds something out and then they just feel like they're all alone and the friends that they thought they had aren't really there for them, that can all happen, and then the dark night of the soul is when they're actually alone. In the planning process, what I like to do is there's lots of bad guys close in that we'll talk about later, but this is the baddest guy that closes in. So I usually write about what is the baddest guy that closes in that is going to cause this person to really be by themselves and kind of hating on themselves. So that's what I plan in this section. I think that's all I have to say about the Dark Night of the Soul today. We will come back to this later on when obviously they'll have to bounce back from it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far and if things have been helpful, please give me a thumbs up so that I know that you liked it, and also that YouTube knows that you like it. Bring more attention to the information that I'm sharing. If you want to see more about my writing journey, not only this month but also in months and years and decades to come, when I get back to writing, when I start editing, and maybe even start reaching out to agents and maybe getting published one day, I would love to share that here. So if you want to see that, please subscribe to my channel. If you want to see tomorrow's video and get notified of that, please ring the bell. Tomorrow's video is about the choices that we make. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!